Right now at 10, saving those battling addiction, how Dane County Commission is testing illegal substances. And many people at southern Wisconsin on their vacation list, the boost in tourism and business seen last year. Plus, the countdown is on for TikTok to find a new buyer who's in the running to control the social media platform. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Eric Franke. Sarah is off tonight. You may recognize fentanyl strips, or you've seen Narcan vending machines in the community. They're leading efforts in drug overdose prevention, but it takes time, money, and policy to implement efforts like those. And our Maddie Heimsch shows us why committee members and advocates are looking to bring another initiative called drug checking to Dane County.
Drug checking is a way for us to know what is in the drug supply before we are finding out from our coroner.
With federal opioid settlement funds and potential grant money, Dane County could invest in drug checking as an overdose prevention strategy. But what exactly is it?
So if someone buys a pill, you could test it for fentanyl to see if fentanyl's in there. But that tells you positive or negative, but no other information.
Drug checking would supply that other information.
The smallest amount of any substance, like just residue that's like on a bag or a pill or whatever it is, right, can be brought into the drug checking location.
Drug checking labs could comprehensively show users what's in the substances they're getting.
And then that information goes into a database that can be then shared out with the entire community.
And then that can help the broader community to understand what's going on.
Like Narcan and fentanyl strips, it's a step in overdose prevention that's not just abstinence.
There's never just one way for anybody to get sober.
Jocelyn Campbell knows the importance of those steps firsthand. Campbell used for 30 years and has now been sober for 2.5.
That's how I got sober, was, just slowly stop using something or, use something else that's less harmful.
She says it's important to invest in methods that both help people stop using and make using safer for people who aren't ready to quit.
This is yet one more tool that can be really helpful for people in reducing their risk, hopefully reducing risk of death, and one more tool to give people more information so they can make the safest choices for themselves.
Reporting in Madison, Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Maddie, thank you. Over the coming days, southern Wisconsin will see more showers. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington on the weather patio with our best chances for rain. Alex?
Indeed, I do have the answers to that. Dry right now, a touch on the muggy side. We're starting to get those temperatures and dew points into the 60s. Puts a little bit of that summer feel in the air, and that's the fuel, the spark, or part of the spark rather, for shower and thunderstorm chances, which look quite high as we go Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday, and then on Friday night as one more sweeping cold front comes through, ending those showers by the time we get to Saturday. So we all have good chances for water here over the course of the next couple of days. One or two of those storms could get on the strong side Wednesday evening going into Wednesday overnight, with gusty winds and hail being the main threat. But isolated is key. If one or two of those storms line up over the same neighborhood, you could have a little bit of some localized heavy rainfall as well. Here's how that plays out tomorrow night, 8, 9 o'clock. A little line of thunderstorms developing right across the heart, right across the center of the WISC viewing area. It kind of hangs out there overnight, on and off, isolated to scattered thunderstorms through midnight on Thursday, and then continuing through about 6 o'clock on Thursday morning. This is that warm front, stationary front that's going to hang out the next couple days, bringing us the consistent chances for showers and thunderstorms. We still got 62 degrees out here in the patio, still in the 70s out to the west, and that's part of where our weather's coming from. 59 in Middleton, 61 to the east in Deerfield, and the rest of the night tonight temperatures cooling down into the lower 60s and then starting to warm up as that warm air and that more humid air starts to push towards southern Wisconsin. How much water can we expect the next couple days? I'll show you in a few minutes.
Alex, thank you. A Janesville man has been found guilty of sexually assaulting a child nearly 20 years after the crime occurred. Kyle Dean was charged with 3 counts of child sexual assault following his arrest in 2023. Janesville police say the charges stemmed from an assault that took place back in 2007. Following testimony today, a judge found Dean guilty of 1 count, not guilty of 2 other counts. He's scheduled to be sentenced August 28th. The immigrant man who has been falsely accused of threatening to assassinate President Trump can be released from a Wisconsin prison on bond. Ramon Morales Reyes was accused of writing a letter with a threat by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. That letter was written in English, but Authorities say Reyes does not speak English well or write in the language at all. According to police, Reyes was the victim of a violent attack in 2023 where his bicycle was stolen. Authorities say the suspect, Demetric Scott, forged that letter to try and clear his case. Scott was due in court today on newer charges related to that letter. Senator Tammy Baldwin sat down with families affected by the ongoing lead crisis in Milwaukee public schools. Parents shared their frustration, saying they feel abandoned by the federal government during this critical time. It was back in April the Trump administration shut down a key branch of experts who would have been on the ground helping in situations just like this. Senator Baldwin criticized Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the HHS secretary, for what she described as a lack of transparency in handling the crisis.
And the fact that RFK Jr. has repeatedly either lied and said that there was a team from CDC here, or doesn't know that there wasn't. Either way, it's not acceptable, and we've got to hold the Trump administration accountable.
Now, so far, lead has been found in 6 Milwaukee public schools, forcing nearly 2,000 students out of their classrooms. Lawmakers on the powerful budget writing committee are approving funding for a handful of state agencies. Today, one of the sitting state Supreme Court justices sat inside the budget hearing room. That's because the legislature was debating the creation of a state marshal program. This would create a law enforcement agency to help protect Supreme Court justices.
I don't think we believe we want to create a new police force just for the Supreme Court.
I think if I could add to that, the Capitol Police protects the Capitol for visitors, employees, legislators, the court, whoever happens to be here. I think they do a good job.
The Joint Finance Committee returns to the state capitol Thursday to approve education funding and income taxes for Wisconsin. And a new bill proposal looks to make your experience at the ballot box easier in the future. Republican-authored Assembly Bill 207 is a proposal that would make amendments and referendums easier to understand when you're voting. The most noticeable change would require, quote, plain language to be used when explaining a current law, what a proposed state amendment or referendum means, and what it would mean if you vote yes or no. For millions of visitors last year, southern Wisconsin was on their vacation list. According to Destination Madison, roughly 9.2 million people visited Madison and Dane County in 2024, spending about $4 million a day, due in large part to major recurring events like Ironman Wisconsin and the World Dairy Expo, one-time political events like presidential campaign rallies, and of course sporting events like the Badgers hosting Alabama in football. And the exposure Top Chef gave the city and the farmers market.
We've really put a focus into the Chicago and Minneapolis markets because we know those visitors love to come here and spend a lot of time here and spend a lot of money here. And so we're going to grow those 2 markets in what we're doing. And then our national exposure on the B2B side, meaning conventions and events, we've really expanded what we're doing in that space to get Madison more exposure.
Across Madison and Dane County, food and beverage spending grew by $15 million, lodging by $13 million. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is personally assembling a team to build a, quote, super intelligence. According to Bloomberg, Zuckerberg reportedly frustrated with Meta's work in the artificial intelligence space. He plans to hire about 50 people and has shifted the layout at the company's Menlo Park headquarters to put the new AI team near his office. Artificial intelligence is putting an increased strain, though, on data centers and communication systems here in the United States. Experts say some of the constraints include bandwidth demands, energy consumption, and safety and security. While new networks are rolling out to handle AI's needs, outdated networks can still pose safety and security risks, including cyber attacks, data breaches, and outages.
The outdated networks need to be patched, they need to be updated, they need to be refreshed on a regular basis.
According to Cisco, 97% of IT leaders surveyed see modernizing networks as crucial to deploying artificial intelligence. The clock ticking once again on TikTok to remain online in the U.S. The popular social network app has 9 days left to find a buyer. Now, of course, President Trump already extended the deadline twice and is reportedly considering a 3rd time. Billionaire businessman Frank McCourt and his partners are among several investment groups bidding to acquire the app.
The law requires the disentanglement from the Chinese algorithm. We can do that. We don't know what China is going to do either.
Now, TikTok went dark in the U.S. on the day of the president's inauguration for about 12 hours after the initial deadline for a deal came and went. Critics warn user data is at risk as long as ByteDance retains ownership of TikTok. ByteDance insists it does not share data with the Chinese government. Still to come at 10, the World Bank issues a bleak outlook on economic growth this year, and President Trump doubles down on his decision to send Marines to Los Angeles. This as he issues a warning to California's governor as the protests there continue.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Protesters took to the streets of Los Angeles for a fifth day. More troops and Marines arrived. President Trump says he spoke over the phone with California's Governor Gavin Newsom. Danya Backus has more.
Groups of protesters gathered around National Guard troops in downtown Los Angeles Tuesday. Some were impassioned.
Our people are being picked up off the street. They're being snatched up out of Home Depots and Walmarts. Wake up, bro. Open your eyes. You're on the wrong side of history, bro. You need to be here with us.
Others expressed concern over rights.
Because I see this as an unlawful invasion of California's sovereignty. And I believe the administration is putting these poor guys in a horrible position, too.
On Monday, President Trump doubled the number of National Guard troops deployed to LA to 4,000. 700 Marines have also arrived. In response, state officials asked for an immediate temporary restraining order that would block military troops from engaging in law enforcement activities such as searches and arrests. A court date has been scheduled for Thursday. In remarks at Fort Bragg Tuesday, President Trump stuck by his decision to send troops to Los Angeles without first consulting with California Governor Gavin Newsom.
We will use every asset at our disposal to quell the violence and restore law and order right away. We're not going to wait 7 days and 8 days and wait for a governor that's never going to call and watch cities burn.
Later on the tarmac, the president revealed he spoke by phone with Governor Newsom and issued him a warning.
And we actually spent 16-point-something minutes on the phone, and I told him he's got to get his act together because you're going to have some bad times in Los Angeles if he doesn't.
Protesters have also taken to the streets in other cities, including Dallas, San Francisco, and New York. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, the Pentagon said deploying the National Guard and Marines to Los Angeles will cost American taxpayers about $134 million. Elon Musk's net worth took a big hit from his recent fallout with President Trump. Now, according to Bloomberg's Billionaires Index, Musk's net worth was close to $500 billion after the president was elected to the White House. As of Sunday, it had plunged to $342 billion. Musk still the world's wealthiest person. Mark Zuckerberg second at $246 billion, followed closely by Jeff Bezos with $234 billion. The World Bank issues a grim outlook on global economic growth. In a new report, the institution forecasting international gross domestic product will fall to 2.3%. That is down from the 2.7% projected in January. And while the World Bank isn't predicting a global recession, it does say it is possible that global growth for this decade could fall to a level not seen since the 1960s. A chance of thunderstorms over the coming days. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington joins us now. Alex, will any of these storms possibly be severe?
Sure could. Tomorrow night is the main threat for the possibility of an isolated severe thunderstorm. As we go Thursday going on into Friday, depending on which side of a weather front that we're on will determine whether or not Thursday and Friday we have the possibility of strong storms. But right now, for certainty, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday, and Friday night, good chances for showers and thunderstorms. They'll be widespread, not a complete washout, meaning we'll have some dry time, but there will be consistent shower and thunderstorm activity in the area starting this time tomorrow night, 9, 10 o'clock. A couple of thunderstorms leaning into southwest Wisconsin, over south central Wisconsin, Madison off to the east, over towards Watertown. Doesn't mean Camp Douglas or Janesville that you don't stand a chance of seeing thunderstorms. They will be isolated to scattered during the overnight hours, continuing through 6 o'clock Thursday morning. Again, one or two of these storms could be on the strong side. We'll talk about the threats in just a moment. But on and off periods of showers and thunderstorms really throughout the entirety as we go into Thursday. But as we go into Thursday night, the weather system lifts back more towards the north as a warm front, and that may take the focus of the showers and thunderstorms a little bit further to the north in central northern Wisconsin briefly Thursday night going into Friday before coming back through with widespread showers and storms Friday evening. But as you take note here, from Wednesday night clear through Saturday morning at 6 o'clock, we have rain chances in the forecast, but at least the rain chance is well appreciated because we have areas that are dry, which I'll show in just a moment. Wednesday night, we could have some areas of heavy rain, gusty winds, and some hail with some of those thunderstorms, but at this point, not expecting widespread severe weather. The best chance of an isolated strong storm, Lone Rock to Madison over towards Jefferson and areas to the south, Janesville, Monroe, Darlington, Platteville. This could shift a little bit depending on how that front sets up on Wednesday. But again, at this point, not looking at widespread severe weather, just an isolated strong storm or two. Widespread heavy rain from Madison and areas off towards the north and towards the west. I mentioned that concentration, a little bit more focus up towards central and northern Wisconsin. Doesn't mean, Janesville, you don't stand the chance of having upwards of an inch between now and Saturday. So this is through the entirety of this entire stretch of wet weather, but areas down towards Janesville, you're still dealing with moderate drought conditions, so you really need the raindrops over the course of the next couple of days. Lows tonight, mid 60s to upper 60s. High temperatures as we go into Wednesday. A warm one, especially from Madison areas to the south as that front lifts towards the north. You'll feel a touch more in the way of humidity as well as we go into Wednesday afternoon. And that front looks like we're going to be on the cooler side of the front right now, Thursday going into Friday, with good chances for showers and an isolated thunderstorm. If we end up getting on the south side of that boundary, might be a few degrees warmer. But as we head towards Dad's Day, we dry out for a bit, and then we turn warm and humid next week with more storm chances in the forecast.
Looks like summer's going to arrive by next week.
It's here.
It's getting here. Finally. It's been a little cool lately. All right, we had some great golf in town this past weekend and more champions crowned today.
Yeah, and you know, it's not overtime in golf, it's playoff holes. Coming up in sports, champions were crowned at University Ridge. Why it took a couple extra holes to win a state title. That's next on News 3 Now. Two years ago, the Oregon softball team won their first conference championship in 45 years. This season, they've done something the program has never done before: advance to the state tournament. And the Panthers aren't satisfied at just playing at Goodman Diamond. For the first time in school history,
this is what we've been working towards, like, forever.
Oregon softball is headed to the state tournament.
It's becoming more real, and I think that's going to help us on Wednesday, making sure everybody knows, like, this is it. This is what we've worked for all season.
But it's not like this is a Cinderella season for this group.
I mean, we won 20 games in a row to start the season. So after that, we kind of, like, you know, all looked at each other and we're like, we can do this. We can beat anybody. You know, we can hang with anybody.
And even though this is a brand new experience,
And we know that we can win, and I don't think there's going to be any doubt going into Wednesday thinking, hey, is this team better than us? Can we really pull this off? We know that we can.
the Panthers are going to continue to do what they've done all year and stick to their game.
It's nothing we haven't done before, regardless of what level it's at. So just like kind of bringing everybody back down to earth. Like, you're still you, we're still us, like, and we're still playing the same game.
So they can stay focused on the next pitch.
Yeah, we're not done. We want to win there. Like, it's great to be at Goodman, but getting a win on that field would be great.
And not only make more history.
Like, every time I think about it, I just get just like a wave of excitement, because it is something like we've always talked about, we've always thought about it, but it's never been like, you know, really there. And yeah, it being here, it's just like state, our senior year, like being together for all these years, and it's crazy, and it means everything to me.
But more memories with this team.
This is my last reps. I'm not playing in college. You know, to play one more game, I'm playing for one more inning with these girls, and that would be super duper special, just to get, you know, just one more game, one more win.
To the links we go, State Boys Golf Championships at University Ridge, and what a round it was for Waunakee's Peyton Albers. On 18 for birdie, and he comes up just short. Albers would tap in for par to finish 3 under on the day, 4 under after 36 holes, but he'd play for a few more and is your Division I champ after winning a 3-hole playoff. Now in Division II, what a career it's been for Kean Beistel Flores of Cambridge. He won it as a sophomore, finished runner-up last season, and this year he'd take second again after a playoff hole. As a team, the Blue Jays finished second. The state baseball tournament is next week, and we're sending 4 teams to Fox City Stadium. Sun Prairie East, Reedsburg, Fenimore, and Johnson Creek will all play for a state title in Grand Chute. And the Brewers looking to even their series with the Braves. No score in the third, and Jack Centurio changes that with one big swing. He sends a 2-run bomb to center to put the Crew on the board, and that's all they'd need. Brewers win it 4-1, the final. And that's it for sports. Alex is back with one last check of your forecast after the break.
All right, Culver's rolling out a new lineup of chicken sandwiches, hoping to change the perception that it's just a burger place. The fast food chain introducing 3 new chicken sandwiches, a spicy crispy, and a grilled variety, coming after years of development. The new chicken lineup launches Monday with free sandwiches for the first 100 customers at all of the company's 1,000 plus locations. That's a lot of sandwiches. We'll see how it turns out. We'll have reviews next week. Alex Harrington will tell you how they taste next week.
All 3.
Try them all. Forecast going to heat up next week. Might be a good week for custard.
Yeah, indeed. And some rain chances before that. Rain chances the next couple days. Not terribly warm, terribly humid. Touch on the humid side. But the warm stuff will come a little bit later, as Eric was mentioning. Good chances of rain the next couple days. Can't rule out a strong storm tomorrow night. Then as we fast forward to Father's Day weekend, Saturday 74 and 76 on Sunday, and then there's the warm custard weather as we go out to the middle of next week.
Good dad weather too on Sunday. Thanks for watching News 3 Now at 10. Coming up now, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert as he welcomes Nicole Wallace. Our next newscast, of course, tomorrow. News 3 Now this morning at 4:30. You can always find us streaming 24/7, channel 3000+.